I'm Irish.
I'm Irish.
Is Éireannach mé.
Agus is Éireannach mé freisin.
I'm Irish.
I'm Irish.
It's Irishness me, but you mightn't guess it the first time that you talk to me. One of the first things they'll ask me is where I'm from, and one of the second things they'll ask me is, no, where am I really from? And I'm sure it's perfectly innocent, but I'm Irish. It's as simple as that.
I guess when someone of colour asks me where I'm from, I would say Irish, and they'd be like, cool, me too, Tala. Where are you from? But when it's someone who's white, it kind of, you feel like there's an undertone of something else.
I get a quizzical look, a raised eyebrow, and they say, but you don't look Irish. And what they mean by that is, I don't look white. Saying I'm Irish is never good enough.
I grew up in Dublin. I always felt like I was Irish, but now and again I'm reminded that I don't look it. I remembered really vividly, I had a crush on a guy. Well, he told my friend that he wasn't interested in me because I was a chink.
Like even in primary school, growing up, people would be like, why did you even come here? And ask you weird questions like that. I've learned that I have to accept the fact that I am Nigerian and that is my history and that's my ancestry, but I'm also Irish because this is where I've grown up.
It's your first day of college and you're the only person of colour there, and your tutor's like, oh, Karen, sorry, where are you from? Since we're all getting to know each other here, where are you from? I'm Irish. Where kind of everyone's looking around you and it's awkward and you're like, oh, you want to know how am I like, so beautifully caramel. In saying that, I know a lot of people who are white would probably be like, oh, well, it's like PC politics gone mad, and you can't even ask people where they're from these days, they're like offending them. And it's like, well, I mean, it depends on how you ask it.
People almost like see me as like, oh, she's exotic, she's Asian. It used to bother me an awful lot, but I've started to understand that maybe some people might be ignorant or they're just not used to seeing people from a different cultural background who are Irish. I'm Irish, but my parents are Chinese, and that's the end of that.
My mum has more stories than she can even remember of people coming up to her and saying like, oh, what a beautiful baby you have. You have a heart of gold for taking one of them in, I've seen it on the telly, it's so sad. And she would try to convince them that this was her actual daughter, and people just didn't seem to believe her. A lot of the racism that happens here seems to be from people who genuinely believe that they mean well. Like these wee grannies who would talk to me at the bus stop and they would compliment me, and they were so kind about how good my English was.
Born and adopted from Romania, I am Irish. I used to work in a restaurant and people would ask me every time I'd serve them where I was from. When I say I'm from down the road, from Dublin or from Ireland, the disbelief in people's eyes kills me. And it got to the point where if they said a country, say Italy, I would actually just agree with them just to make them stop talking.
I guess we call them microaggressions. It's like a mosquito bite, You get one, it's not a big deal. It's annoying, but you move on. But when you're constantly just swarmed by them and they're buzzing in your ears and they're pinching you all over, it's maddening. And at that point, where are you from starts sounding like, where are you supposed to be instead? What I am is an Irish woman of Nigerian heritage. This is my face, this is my skin, and it's me, and I'm Irish.
Is Éireannach mé. Ní cóir go mbeadh aon míniú ag teastáil leis sin. Ach nuair a cuirtear an ceist where are you from ní freagraíam le carvas mé féin. I am Irish. That shouldn't be questioned. But I am also Pakistani, and I am proof that you can be both.
I think right off the bat, the first thing people think when I tell them that I'm Irish is, how could she possibly be Irish when she's also black? And I think the fact that we have these notions of what Irishness is meant to be is pretty ridiculous. It is possible to have this duality within you, I am Irish, but I'm also a person of colour, and You know, if there are people who don't accept that, you know, that's their own problem.
You look like you're from Nigeria, you live in Ireland, and you sound a bit American, and you know, all these like hodgepodges of identity. It's this weird thing of identity being like this melting pot. What's the look of a nation? What's the look of a country?
I've lived in Ireland for 14 years and I identify as Afro-Irish.
I think when it comes to identity, it's so much more like what you perceive yourself to be and how you see it as opposed to other people. Being called Irish, being perceived myself as Irish, something I take with pride, is a place I want to represent. You are where you call home and where you consider home. Anything else is just, you know, loud white noise.
Growing up, I grew up as an Irish person. I grew up with the Irish culture, the Irish food, the Irish music, and I studied Irish in school, but then to know people are attacking me for not being Irish as a child, I just couldn't understand that.
You know, I didn't do 5 years of honours Irish for some cretin on Twitter to tell me that, you know, I'm not as much a part of this country as anyone else is. You know, I've seen Cockamish and Yuming Azanam done more times than any person is supposed to. So I'm fucking Irish, like, and that's it.
Being Irish is not only colour of skin, it's not only colour of hair, it's not only colour of eyes. It's culture.
This is Ireland and I am Irish.